Not on. Okay.
We are hitting all
Okay.
the marks today.
Okay. We are up and running. Hello,
We're
everyone.
live. Are we
We're
live?
live. Yes, we're live.
We're live. We're live and as organized as we ever are. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Sandy, and the cause of the disorganization today. Sorry about that. And this is WordStitch. So welcome to our virtual
We're actually
write-in.
streaming right now.
What?
Are we actually streaming right now?
We are, but we just started, so it's possible that it hasn't popped up yet.
Hi. And I'm back.
So are we? Are streaming?
We are in fact streaming.
Oh, good.
Ignore me. I'm a crazy person.
No. So
There we
it's
go.
so it's February, right? And this is the start of our themed month. So we have a theme today, kind of,
We
right?
do. I am super crooked right now. Let me this could go terribly wrong. Oh no, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Yes. So this is our we're doing a soft rollout of our new setup. I
Yeah.
don't know. We're going to keep the exact same we're still going to be doing all of our word sprints. But now we are going to have a unified theme throughout the talking points. We did not do as much planning as we had hoped to on this, though. So we are actually going to talk about planning today. It is 4 after, though. So we are actually going to be talking about that planning when we come back from hopefully being far more productive than
Yeah, and there were all kinds of technological glitches there. Did you see
we're
that?
having
I'm
today.
I'm a mess.
That's why you love us, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of hot mess, I can't even find. There we go. I've got too many tabs open, and that had the exact result that you expect having too many tabs open to
But
have. But I did find the. Oh my god, the timer started on its own. It's okay. I'm gonna stop that, and I'm gonna restart it in just a moment if
because
I
the
can share it. Perfect. Perfect. We're back. We're how we're supposed to be. So why don't you guys all write for the next 10 minutes while we figure out what we're doing right now? All right, we're back.
Yes, we are back. Okay. So how did you do?
I don't know. um, I feel like every single week I tell myself to figure out how to find the word count easily. There we go. I got about 200 on that.
I got
I
158.
find the word count by scrolling randomly and eventually it pops up. Anyways, how did you do?
158, which I am happy with. And I had a thing I was supposed to be writing this down on, but I don't know where it went. Oh well.
I think you're supposed to be writing this down.
My word count on. That's how I keep track of it.
Oh,
I put it into like a post-it note. But anyways, but before we got here, we completely failed to talk about what we were doing, and so our theme today is plans and goals. So so let's talk about that. Chloe, you want to go first, or yeah, no?
So, did we want to start off with like how we did last month, or like just how we're planning in general?
Let's start off with how we did last month. Yeah.
Okay. So, since I did all of my planning in Rocketbook, everything is digital now, even though it was hand done. So I'm going to see if I can do a little share screen on this. I don't know.
Yeah, do it, and I'll switch it to a full screen so people can see.
Oh, what's funny though is I can't, because for some reason it does not allow me to share
PDFs?
A Microsoft Edge? That's weird. Don't ask me why it's a Microsoft Edge. That's what I pulled up. Oh, you know what? I guess I can just do this, share the entire screen, and it's just going to get wonky for a second. So, there we go. So I don't know how much is visible on the screen. But this is, woo, that got exciting for a second. Sorry, I just saw a pop up on that. So this was my January. One of the things that I learned in January is that the gray pen does not show up. So some of this stuff is just not visible on there. But so I had all of the stuff that I planned to do in the January goals column. And they were all color coded. And then this is actually how I did. So anything that's got a number next to it is writing, and that was just the word count of what I wrote. So my plans for January was to finish this top quilt. I did not finish the top quilt. Was to finish the Christmas Bake Off story that I ultimately paused. I was going to do one more video for WordStitch. I never did it. I was going to do a read through on Girlfriend by the Hour. I ultimately just did not need to do it. So, and then I did do a read through on Lover by the Hour, and I did finish an enrichment video that I've been planning on getting through. I also added a few things that I had not initially planned to do. So I did finish the rough draft of Ugly Sister. I did make an underquilt, which is for a hammock. And then I started my current project, which is Talia. And that was how I did in January.
I like the name, Talia. And I think it's cool that you color code like that. Like you can actually see where you did your stuff. So it works out, right? All right, so let's see if I can do this. I will use. All right, so this is mine, and it's
there it is.
Yeah, so Chloe probably can only see it like delayed.
I have it on my phone. So.
Oh, okay. So I had set my goals in these columns here, and the columns represent projects for the year. So in each month there are different goals. Like He Made Pasta, the reader magnet, does not have a goal for February, but it did have a goal for January. So that was supposed to be a 20,000 word thing, and that's like 25,000. And then I also had editing goals. So this is the number of pages I had to revise and proofread and edit and such. So I had the reader magnet that I wanted to draft and edit draft, revise, edit, proofread, and publish. And I accomplished that. And then I had the Won't Let You Go is the first actual romance novel I plan to publish. And it was partially written. I only had like 10,000 words left, but it was kind of disorganized. So I had a lot of revision that I had to do. But my goal for January was to do that and get it to the place where like it could go to beta readers. So I was able to accomplish that. And then as far as my YA goes, so this is already like 120,000 words. It's like ridiculously large. And my goal for this project is to revise it within like the span of several months. So it's a page goal always. And my goal for January was 102 pages. And I was like right on with that. And then I have my short story competition. Which like it was a small goal, but still accomplishable. The one I did not manage.
It's a short story. Like I would never consider a short story to be a small goal because they are a pain in the backside to do.
Yeah, I mean it takes away time, right? So like when you do those, it's like your energy really needs to focus on the story. But I was happy with that one. The place where so my chart here, like I had it set up all month. I could like see how my progress is doing, and I thought I was going to have like a perfect month, and then I messed up the fan fiction. I was supposed to do 9,000, and I have like the days marked so like you can see like when I'm supposed to be writing, and I just fell off the bandwagon at the very end. So yeah, kind of a bummer with that. That is why I'm working on fan fiction today. But I think the Excel thing worked really well for me because I was able to like see in real time what I was doing, and it had a lot of little tools. And if you are interested in this is a version of Jamie Raintree's planning sheet that I have significantly altered because I'm neurotic as hell. And this is what happens when I really go into this kind of stuff. So there's also like social media stuff. Yeah, so much more. And I'm even tracking shit like what I ate, binge ate, epic fail, chocolate, wine, steak. Basically, my nutrition is terrible.
I love that.
But I did manage Body Boss. And then I also found it helpful every day to set a goal. So like I had a little column over here for this was like, what did I do every day? And then at the end of the month, I went back and looked at like, well, what were the things I accomplished? Because I think it's really important to have like a way to say like, this is what I did, especially when you're not making money. So like I had a really productive month. I did a lot of editing and stuff.
I think it's important to have that if you are making money. Like I feel like I don't get anything done because I work full time unless I've got like goals set out.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I didn't really think about it before. Oh, we're coming back. Okay, we're back. Like last year, I feel like my goal was just to finish my YA book. Like that was the one thing I was capable of accomplishing. And I was writing other stuff. But you're right. I didn't really have specific targets. So because I had no specific targets, everything was, you know, flexible. If I didn't finish something, I could move on to the next project. Yeah. Now I cannot do that. So are you doing Rocketbook again for February?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got it all set up. We'll do that in the next thing.
Okay.
It's 4:24 right now. So we're about to start a new one.
Yes.
But yeah, so it looks like you got a bunch of stuff done last month. That's good.
Yeah, I did. It was a really productive month. But okay, so in fairness, folks watching, I have a very supportive husband who is essentially allowing me to like let another business kind of like sit aside for a little while I try to get some of this done, and also while we deal with some like personal health issues. But so I have a lot of time that I'm working with, and I really need to structure it to make sure that I'm using it right. Otherwise, it's like I'm wasting this gift, essentially, of time when I don't have a full-time job. So I think that that's important to think about, too, with goals. Look at how much time do you actually have.
Hey, man, you should never set your goals to somebody else's goals.
No.
That'll destroy you every time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're ready.
Yeah. So we're gonna write for 25 minutes. So we'll see you at 10 of.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we are back.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I lost like 10 minutes of that because
Oh no.
it is my brother's birthday today. Happy birthday, Scott. He's not
Oh,
watching.
happy birthday, Scott, from the internet.
From the internet. And I failed to arrange this in advance. I'm supposed to be delivering him like birthday treats. He's in Baltimore, so this involves like DoorDash and cupcakes, and hopefully I did that right. But I did actually manage 323 words still.
Honestly, I don't even think I did that well. I got about 400. I did okay.
That is okay.
I wouldn't actually call that okay for 25 minutes. But it is what it is.
Sometimes you got to do what you can do. So we are supposed to be talking about goals for February and maybe goals for the year too.
I mean, I have both.
Okay.
Which of course, like all those year goals always change, but excuse me. But yeah, like I'm doing my best to like keep goals that are at least on track with like my plan for the year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So do you have those in Rocketbook too?
I mean, I just have them actually like on a, like I have not transferred them yet. That's not focusing, is it?
I can see it on the bigger screen. I don't know if people can see it on YouTube. Do you want me to switch to the full screen?
No, it's okay because I'm just holding it, so it's a little weird. But anyways, so you just saw that it does exist. I make those goals for February. So my goals are to finish this rough draft of the reader magnet. Because I do already, like, I've already seen I'm like 10,000 in. And it's looking like it's going to be like 40,000 because that's just the person I am. But I already have like 3K that I know I can get rid of because I started earlier than I was supposed to. Or, like later on I figured out that I didn't need to start as early as I did. So yeah, I've got that. And then I still have that top quilt for Ken's bed to do. I now own a website, but I have to design my website.
Yes.
I have to design my logo. I have to launch a blog. So this month is all marketing stuff. And then that video that I was going to do for WordStitch last month has been pushed into this month.
I think I'm a bad influence on you.
I'm going to possibly do the Karina pitch on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
If I do, I don't know. I'm going to pitch Bloodworth, but like honestly, at this point, I have no idea how to pitch it. But if I do that, then I'll have to get like a reasonable draft together for the end of the month. So there's going to be one more thing added. It's going to be an edit. I just don't know what story it's going to be, and I will know Wednesday.
It's funny. I know I know that like theoretically you should like always be trying to get a publisher or something, but I feel like I just don't have the energy to do both the indie publishing and also try to do traditional publishing. Like it's too much. So like I can focus on the indie thing and set specific goals. Today I actually sat down and did this whole like rapid release plan. I know this is crazy. See, because I try really hard to put down this side of my personality that does the Excel thing. And it is because in past years, like many writers, when I get depressed or anxious, my goals just fall out the window. And then like like I've broken promises to myself. So like suddenly these ambitious goals that I set with my amazing spreadsheets, and I have had some epic ones, are like, I don't know, it feels like I just broke like an enormous vow to myself. So I think it's, I don't know, I'm trying it this year, but okay, so this is an interesting.
I think this is part of treating this as an actual job.
Yes.
You know, with my full-time job, I don't get to just not go in because I'm not feeling it that day. And I feel that's kind of how you have to do writing. And like sometimes it's going to be, we do have the luxury of saying, well, today this thing that I'm working on right now just isn't going to happen, so I'm going to work on this other thing. And that's kind of the nice thing with aiming for rapid release, is that you do have a bunch of projects going at the same time. But yeah, so I think that like that's absolutely what you should be doing right now, is giving yourself that Excel spreadsheet of nightmares.
Yes.
To get yourself going.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I agree with you, and I think it makes a huge difference. Like, in fact, maybe that is the difference, because I am treating it like a job, like I have multiple projects. I need to get them done by certain dates. Like, if I have to stay up late to finish a thing, I got to stay up late to finish a thing. Like, if I can't, I'm trying to prioritize some things. Like, the dog always gets a walk, because if she doesn't, then we both get grouchy. But
yeah.
and I think you have to sleep, but still, there's a lot that goes into even just the planning. Like, it took me an hour this morning to set up a rapid release schedule, because I'd been thinking about, like, if I had the luxury of having ARC readers, like, when would they read that stuff? Yeah. So then I had to like go and like look at, well, like, if I were doing 3 books, I actually have like 5 planned ambitiously.
For this year, for the 2019 calendar year?
Yes, but several of them are half written already.
Yeah.
And yeah, as far as my plans go, so I've got 2 romance books that were already at like 50,000 words that just need revisions. Then
we're talking about your February plans right now, or your 2019 plans?
2019. Okay. In February, I'm gonna revise the second one of those, and then I'll move on to the third one, which is unwritten, in the spring. And I've got the holiday romance half done. And my husband and I are doing this like wild, probably super dangerous thing that will kill me, because we're not going to be in a car with airbags rally in... I am terrified of this. The only good thing about it is I'm going to steampunk us out, damn it. But we are taking like a British roadster to Utah and like participating in this. It's called I don't know, it's a rock rally or something like that, but not rock and roll. Rock as in like there are rocks surrounding you, because you're in Utah.
Also, I just like to point out that I like that you're terrified because it doesn't have airbags, when like half the cars that I have owned in my life did not have airbags.
Yeah, but I bet that you have never had the pleasure of like being in like a tin can, no airbag thing built in like maybe 1970, but the 1970 thing where somebody driving it thinks it's real fun to try to go like 100 miles an hour.
My first car was a 74 Volkswagen Beetle, so yeah, pretty much.
You want to trade?
Yeah.
Because Malcolm needs a date, okay? But okay, so that's it's gonna be like a lot of old cars. So I'm gonna do a romance time travel thing then.
I like that.
Yeah, like or murder mystery. I haven't really decided which one, but I had this idea today. Like, these 2 characters just popped into life. I swear they came out of nowhere. And they're so
great, but also the worst. Like, I don't have time for you right now, but you're adorable.
Yes, they're sleek and sexy. They're like fun. Okay, but we gotta write. And
we got us like way off track there.
I'm sorry.
And then you were like, I'm derailing all of this.
I'm so sorry. This is my plans.
So we're gonna come back to Sandy's February plans. After this word sprint, remember that? Your February plans.
Oh, that's part February.
Yeah, and then we'll come back around to like our year plans.
Okay.
But we're going to do a half hour of writing first. So if you are feeling like super motivated right now, you can try to write 1,000 words. I can tell you right now that I'm probably going to write about 500, because that is just where I am in this story. But that's okay. Do you, and I will do me.
Okay.
I got about my 600.
That's good.
That I said I was going to get. Yeah. And I hit a plot point, so yay.
Yes. I don't think I got my whole... Oh, I'm echoing weird. I don't think I got my whole 1,000, but... I was at like 836. That's
good.
Yeah.
Better than I did.
So it's a good number.
Yeah.
I'm writing an action scene in my fan fiction about a ladybug and cat noir. It's awesome.
I'm writing sex.
Let's talk about our plans for February.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about my plans for February. What are your plans?
Okay, all right. So all seriousness, let's look at what I have here. I am planning. So I gotta pull it up on my other computer now. So I have the second romance novel to finish writing and revise, and the first one I want to get it self-edited and maybe out to beta readers. We'll see. For Sassafras, my goal is 179 pages of revision, which will put me like 2/3 of the way through, well, over half the way through that book. And then I have a goal of writing a new chapter in my fan fiction every weekend. So I'm behind. I had like a migraine headache last night and didn't get it done again last weekend. But I at least, I think I should be able to fix that today. So lots of writing to do. And then I also have a goal of marketing. So I every month I set like a monthly objective, because I feel like it's not good enough just to have like individual projects. Like for me, I need a overarching theme so that I know what to prioritize when I suck at this. So my overarching theme this month is to gain 1,000 subscribers for Wesley Ash, my pen name. So I'm trying to do that as well. There, that's February. It's less interesting than my year plan, though, isn't it?
I mean, it's your February plan, though, and you know, micro goals are everything. You can't take over the world if you don't play on the first day.
This is true.
I feel like there's an actual expression that I could have said there, and instead I was like, I'm just gonna make some stuff.
It was solid. It was good. So what are your year plans then?
My year plans, I have them all written down as well. I don't know why I didn't actually like do the Rocketbook magic thing with it yet. Oh, because it looks like really short right now. Because it's literally just like the actual writing goals. Yeah, and no like marketing or anything. So I've got so right now I've got Girlfriend by the Hour and Ugly Sister, which are like ready to go and just be published, and I just got to do like all the other, you know, like the book covers and all of that for those.
Okay.
So I've got those, and then I would like to get both of those out for this year. And then their sequels, Ugly Sister 2 again was one of the ones that I finished last month. For anybody who's actually viewing right now, yes, my sequel for Ugly Sister is currently Ugly Sister 2. I am still stumped on the name for it. That's okay. I'm going to bring that into novels. That movies aren't the only things that have two now. So I plan on having that like through the beta reads, and hopefully get that pretty much about ready to go as well. And then same with the Girlfriend by the Hour sequel. I would like to have that finished and out. And that one, I feel like I've got probably like 20,000 to do, so it should not be that terrible for me to finish that draft. And then I also wanted to get my Christmas romance that I was working on last month published this year. I do have to go back and do extensive editing on that, so we'll see how that goes. My current project, I absolutely want to have out by like June if I can pull it off. And then I've got a summer clean romance, which like Sandy, I've got some weird stuff going on this summer that I would like to translate into an actual story. So that is going to happen over the summer. And then I've got another story that I finished last year of Olivia's Confectionery Delights that needs kind of a plot overhaul with it. But that one I would like to at least get to beta reading this year.
Yeah, that's ambitious too. You've got a lot going on.
And I don't have any actual like hard marketing plans. My marketing plans are just going to be monthly plans, and we'll just see how I do step by step, and try to get that blog and just kind of do the snowball everything and get it going.
Our audience does not know that you get these like really long ass emails from me being like, all right, this is what I did with marketing and you need to do it too.
Yes. Sandy and I feel like as of last year, we're kind of at like the same level of like being right on the cusp of publishing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like actually Sandy was a little bit behind me.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Like, I yelled at her a whole bunch to
get on it,
her feet, and actually like get her stuff together. And then one day she was like, "Oh, I published this story," which I feel like was nice that I had given her. But that's cool too.
Wait, are we talking about sassafras now, or he made pasta?
On her planning, because I am still in that like balling everything up, so that I can then do that rapid release. Whereas Sandy was like, "I'm just going to throw this out there and see what happens."
Yeah. Well, okay, but so sassafras, of course, was like a learning experience a bit, and I do think that's important. I mean, for me,
absolutely,
I couldn't get to the point where I was able to even think about marketing until I saw why I needed it. And so now, like, I actually published He Made Pasta. That is up on the internet. I have two books.
I support that. I can't. I haven't read it yet. But I fully support that. I don't know why. When I was like trying to find a story the other day, I didn't read that. And instead I picked up another stupid series that like I hate, and I'm on book 3 already. Anyways, keep going.
Well, let's just say that if you pick up He Made Pasta, it's a light read. It's not going to take you more than like an hour to read that. I don't think.
That's also great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I you're right. And I also feel like when you're like, there is this place where you kind of have to be like, okay, so like, am I going to be serious about this, or am I going to like let all of my self-doubt like just get me down? And in the fall, I happened to be sort of super isolated. So like, because I had moved,
yeah,
I had very few voices that could add to my self-doubt. Like, and it's a lot easier to crush self-doubt when there aren't a lot of other people giving it to you. And I think this is important for writers, because as writers, we have a tendency to like propagate self-doubt and like push it on other people. We don't even know we're doing it, right? Like, we express our fears for ourselves, and our writer friends are like, oh my God, I never even thought about that terrible thing that could happen to me. Now I need to think about it. Jeez. And so you, like, the more writers you're with, the more likely it is that you are afraid of actually publishing.
Yeah. Although the flip side of it, and like the way I said that, I feel like it might have sounded like a bit trash talky. Maybe
it was awesome.
But, like, people watching. I love that Sandy just did it. it was really funny from my perspective because like there was that point where she was like, I'm never going to use this actually as my book cover because like it doesn't make any sense for the genre, and then the next thing like it is published with that book cover. So it was just like a lot of craziness from my perspective, but I love that she did this because I feel like as a writer who like really is on the cusp of like actually doing this after so many years of being in that boat of just being a writer, like I feel like now doing this thing where I am setting myself up for mass market or for rapid release, now I feel like there's so much more, not just self-doubt, but like when I talk about it with people, like I feel even dumber for being in a situation that I'm still not published on. Like I have short stories published from years ago when I used to actually be in trade magazines, but like I don't have anything in the novel under my belt, and like nothing's going under that same pen name, so they're pretty much useless. But like I now, like it's not even imposter syndrome, it's that like I feel that like everybody else thinks I have imposter syndrome, when really it's just that I'm massing this body of work right now. But the fact that you actually do have something where like somebody could be like, let me read your stuff, and you could say, yes, I have now 2 things. Like I'm absolutely insanely jealous that you have like 2 things out there, because you were in that situation where you could kind of on a lark push Sassafras out, and then you are so much better at writing 20,000 words than me, because I'm already at 20,000 words, or I'm at like 15,000, so mine's not going to be anywhere close to that 20,000 that it should be. Yeah.
Which is actually hilarious, because I wouldn't have been able to write those 20,000 except that you said you were making this too complicated, and so I listened.
Right.
No, you're but this is it, and that's how I felt. Like I felt like I was looking at other people doing this thing, and why can't I get it done? And I don't know. I like there is. Okay, so this is probably another down with the patriarchy thing. We're a little bit on this right now. I was so tired.
I hate men right now. I want everybody to know, I hate men right now. Keep going.
Okay, so I was watching like various male colleagues and friends of mine put out books with just like no fear. Like I'm just doing this thing. I don't care what happens with it. Maybe somebody will like it. And I'm thinking to myself, I've worked for like 5 years on this book. It's been like revised like 30 times. I agonized over that. I had the cover. I actually love the. I'm probably going to recover it because it isn't very genre happy. But still, like, I think that there's a place where you kind of have to be willing to say, I am willing to fail, right? Like I'm willing to fail, because if I don't ever attempt to fail, I will never be capable of succeeding. So that's, I mean, for me, that was my 2018. If we talk about goals, right? Like I needed to try something and see how it felt to fail, and like realize that that's not actually the end of the world. So like people don't buy your book, whatever, recover it, write the next one, get more people, go like, find newsletter subscribers.
And let it be that vanity project.
That project is going places, man.
Whatever. You can make it whatever you want it to be. I'm just saying that if it ends up being a vanity project, then that's
well,
as long as you're putting other stuff out.
Yeah, in fairness, it's a weird project. That's my best writing that will probably never sell. But
well, it's also like off-brand for you.
Yeah.
Because it's a younger YA, and it looks like you are definitely leaning toward making romance your primary brand. So it's so it's very much a vanity project, and the fact that like nothing that you're doing is going to like
push that.
It's going to be something where that like if you do end up with like a really good reader base, that some of them are going to read it just to be like, oh, Sandy also wrote this fun little YA, but you're not going to have a snowball effect with it because you're not going to have enough other stuff in that category.
Yeah, that may be true, or at the very least, it's going to take a lot longer. So certainly, like for Wesley, oops, we need to go. I
Yeah,
picked.
but I was gonna let you finish your thought.
Yeah, no. For Wesley, I have like a goal of 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. For me, writing Sassafras, it's like 100. So yeah, very different. But okay, let's write.
Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes.
How do I get me to the word sprint stage? Here we go.
Okay.
Yes. So I lost some time there because my dog needed to play Run Like Hell.
That's fair.
Yeah. This is a game where she pretends she needs to go outside, and she's little, so I gotta scoop her up. She can't actually take stairs. And then I try to grab her, and she shoots her on the couch. It's fun, isn't it?
I was sieged by Cat, but I got pretty much done with this scene. And I wrote like 1400 today, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I bet like 1530. I feel pretty good about that. You know, like it's I think that speaking of planning, you know, like one thing I think we do have to take into consideration is like you don't always have the mental energy, right? And you can't be on all the time. Right. So like NaNoWriMo, for example, I don't actually have a particular project planned for that yet because I feel like I need to like wait and see what's going to need the most energy at that point. And I know that that's a time when I can get a ton of drafting done, you know? So
right. Yeah.
Maybe there's some room for flexibility with stuff like that.
I've got two potential projects for NaNoWriMo. And that all depends on what happens if I guess it all depends on where I am with everything, because either that's going to be the only, like, and that whole plan that I had down, the only thing that I have that's like completely fresh that hasn't been started or anything, is my summer romance.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it all hinges on whether I get that done in advance or not. If I do already have that started, it will be the sequel to my 2018 Nano.
Yeah. Well, have you finished your 2018 Nano?
It's most of the first draft is done. I'm kind of at that, like I've had the romantic climax in it. And so now it's just like the final battle that will set up the second story. We'll get that rough draft done. But that rough draft is kind of a train wreck because it's two drafts coming together. And I just realized that I want to change a couple things on it. Nothing critical, but like just enough that I am going to have to, the second draft is going to be a pretty extensive change.
Okay. Well, so yeah, you've got a lot of stuff already like in the works then. It is all doable.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like 6. We should end our show for the day. I hope that if you're watching that you have made tons of plans and been inspired by I think we're ambitious this year. I think this is like a year of major ambition.
We're going to be authors by the end of this year.
Yeah, not just authors, paid authors.
Full on like authors, like you can go online and find us as authors online.
Or Amazon might tell you that we're authors. Like that's the holy grail, right? For Amazon to want to promote your stuff.
Oh, right. That like you actually don't have to put that much work into it anymore. That like your story could just exist, and people who don't know what they're looking for can actually see your story. Yeah,
precisely. I mean, because you can go online and find me as a author, but that doesn't necessarily mean anybody is going online and finding me as an author. All right. So until next week, and hopefully we'll have like a really good planned theme for you all next week. Yeah, we will. We're gonna do it.
We're getting closer.
Yes. Okay. So goodbye for now to the crowd.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.